So the other day I made a couple of videos talking about some AI related topics. I talked about Bing's new integration with ChatGPT, an AI voice model chat thing. You can ask it all kinds of important questions like, can I fit this couch in the back of this particular van? And it can find the dimensions online and give you a real answer to that question. You can ask it to write you a post ready to tweet away on Twitter, and it can do that for you as well. It's a very interesting piece of tech. Of course, Google has their own version, which doesn't seem to be quite as far along in that they're not ready to actually start rolling it out yet, but it's going to be able to do very similar things, right? So I made those videos, and quite a few of you actually did end up watching them. Now, I want to preface this video thusly. I am not an expert in AI. However, I do think logic, just using what little brain power I do in fact have, I can kind of look at where this might be going in places where maybe we're not talking quite enough about the concerns that we maybe should be having about all of this stuff. So people talk about their concerns with automation and the effect it has on the job market, in particular automation that is using AI as it is capable of doing more and more each year. Now that's something I'm not going to dig into in this video, because one, it's just not my primary concern, but also that stuff gets politicized very, very quickly, and it's not something that I care to have on my channel. So please refrain from this sort of stuff in the comments. If I see stuff getting politicized, not only am I going to delete your comment, because that's just not the conversation I'm interested in having, I'm probably also going to prevent anyone from ever seeing your comments on this channel ever again, because I just don't want this stuff on the channel. I do not think that that's the kind of stuff that I am the most worried about when it comes to AI. This is the stuff I'm most worried about when it comes to AI. And again, we're going to not politicize this stuff. We're just going to talk about it very flatly and broadly. I think we can all agree, wherever you're coming from, that human beings do a really bad job of discerning what is real from what is fake. Okay, the term fake news became very, very popular over the last several years. And the reason is because we just can't tell the difference anymore between facts and fiction, between reality and stuff people are just making up and posting on Facebook. We grew up, or at least I grew up, being told by my parents that, hey, remember, you can't trust everything you read on the internet. And now we live in a world where everybody seems to just wholesale trust whatever they read on the internet, regardless. Even people from the generation telling me not to trust it, just trust whatever they read on the internet. And it's a real problem. People don't seem to understand. When I was in school, they would teach us how to source, how to fact check, how to go to the card catalog and to look up books and so forth. And to you'd write a paper and they want your sources at the bottom and all these things. And no one seems to remember how to do any of this stuff. No one seems to take that tiny step to just look into it a little bit and to actually objectively look into it, not just look for confirmation of what you just read because you like what you read, but to look and see if it's actually real or not. This is a real problem, okay? And again, whatever side of the political aisle you hang your coat, I think you can probably agree with me that this is a real problem. This problem is going to get, to say it's going to get a little bit worse would be a lie. It's going to be orders of magnitude worse very, very, very quickly. And I can demonstrate this to some degree with a couple of videos I've run across on TikTok. And yes, I do occasionally use TikTok. China has my data. It is what it is. What you're about to see is a clip of what appears to be Joe Rogan's voice saying some very uncharacteristic things about the pyramids and so forth. And I'm going to tell you, this is not real. There are algorithms now, there are programs, there are apps, whatever you might call them, that can take someone's voice. You can plug in a few seconds of someone speaking, and then they can output them saying whatever you want them to say. And yes, I do mean whatever you want them to say. And you could post this online and tell me yourself how convincing you think this is.
So when you think about it, it's entirely possible that it may have been Endermen who were responsible for the construction of the pyramids. Because when you look at the sheer weight of these stones that were stacked on top of each other, it doesn't make sense. There needs to be another explanation. So when you think of an Enderman, what do? Number one, most importantly, they pick up blocks, which is exactly what the pyramids are made of.
It's very funny. Okay, if you know about Minecraft and all that stuff, this is a funny video. However, if you're just scrolling through this and you're not thinking about the fact, if you don't know that this is a thing that can be done, that people can just fake audio like that to that fidelity, You may be watching that going, well, that's really weird. Joe Rogan thinks Enderman built the pyramids. Here is another one with, now in this one, of course, they've obscured their faces, but this is meant to be Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan, and they are talking about equally silly things.
What about the idea that Princess Peach is actually a powerful character in her own right and doesn't actually need rescuing?
Yeah, that's a step in the right direction, but it still doesn't change the fact that Mario is pursuing her without her consent.
And it goes on like that, and it's also a very funny video. But again, it sounds very, very real. Now, the thing holding it back right now is that you can't see them, right? You can't see their faces talking. But we are literally like probably months away at this point from that being something that they can also fake. We know deep fakes are definitely things. So if somebody wanted to make the video of this, they absolutely could. They could do a deep fake, and it's on TikTok, and it's a little grainy, a little blurry, covered up a bit. Yeah, you'd be like, oh my God, Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan, these guys are off the rails. They're talking about Mario and consent. What are these guys doing? You could do this with anything, with any person, with any topic, and you can have people saying stuff that is abhorrent. You could absolutely ruin someone's character this way. And I know that some of you are going to go, oh, if I listen very closely, I can tell that it does sound a little bit robotic. And fair enough, but bear in mind, this stuff is only going to get better, number one, okay? It's going to get a lot better very, very quickly. And number two, let's be honest here. There are a lot of people that believe stuff that is way easier to tell is fake than what you've already seen here. This technology is going to improve rapidly, and it's going to be proliferated. It's going to be inexpensive, if not free. And like I said, proliferated. Everyone's going to have access to this kind of technology in very short order, and we are not prepared for this reality yet. Okay, so we've got audio, we know about deep fakes, and this stuff is all going to get better and all going to get more and more easy to access, but we also have to talk about AI art. I'm not going to spend a long time on this because it's kind of the same sort of thing, but the fact that you can go to a number of websites and maybe you have to pay a nickel and you type in some words and it creates a piece of art for you that looks incredible, and a lot of the time, I mean, you can't tell that that wasn't an actual piece of art that somebody actually created. I've stumbled onto some stuff online that was AI generated. I mean, granted, there are problems, you know, asking AIs to make hands and teeth get a little bit weird, but this stuff is going to get fixed. But I've seen some stuff I've run across on the internet that has been mind-boggling to me. And the fear I have there with art is that what happens when, you know, an artist takes several hours or days to create a piece of art, and an algorithm can do it in 15 seconds, and you can't tell which one is which. You can't tell what's real and what came from an AI. What happens to those artists? Will this spread to music? I mean, let's be honest, guys. Modern music on those pop charts does sound pretty formulaic. How far away are we from being able to type in on a website, make me a pop song in the style of, I don't know, pick some popular artist or something that's about this particular thing, and it outputs a fully completed song for us? I mean, this stuff is going to happen, okay? Like, this isn't me making some vague prediction that you're going to go, oh yeah, but that's pie in the sky, pipe dream, it's never going to happen. It is happening. And it's going to happen more in the future. Our ability to tell what is real, what is made by a human, and what is fake, what is made by an AI, is going to be effectively non-existent in a very short amount of time. And we are simply not prepared to handle this world. And some of you may say, yes, but there will be tools. You'll be able to take that pop song and run it through another AI that's going to be able to identify that that was made by an AI. But, like, we can't be bothered to Google something to find out if it's real or not, right? So, like, we're not going to do that. That's just not going to happen. People are going to see it, and they're going to go, oh my God, and they're going to post it on Facebook, and it's going to spread like wildfire, and the whole world's going to burn down, and that's just what I think is going to happen. So there you go, guys. That is my very doom and gloom look of where AI is probably going to take the world in only a couple of short years, if who knows, maybe shorter. Maybe in 12 months, everything's going to already be on fire. Hard to say. Maybe I'll ask an AI when it's going to destroy the world. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Am I crazy? Am I overblowing this in my head, or is this a problem that you see as well? What other concerns do you have with AI? Let me know. And again, let's not get political. Okay? You don't want to get banned. You don't want to get banned from my comment section. That would be bad. There are also automatic filters, so there's certain words you don't even know that they're there, but you can't say them already. So don't get caught in my filters. Don't get banned. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.